Hey everybody, this is Robert from Black Belt Gaming. Wrath of Ashardalon. That was where it all started for my channel back a few years ago. I'm going to do another playthrough, and some of you have been asking me for some time, how do the Dungeon Command cards work with the D&D Adventure System board games? So I'm going to be using two different packs. One of these is basically the Hero Pack, and I'm going to be using some of these guys as allies. But I've also shuffled into the monster deck a couple of guys here that we may have to battle along the way. The other pack that I thought was the best fit thematically was the Orc Pack. This faction and all of its orcs and other monsters I thought would be a great to include in this game that I'm about to run through. So let's see how they all work together and see if it changes the game. One thing I do need to mention is, as I'm using the allies, I've sort of made a little house rule for myself that I can spend a healing surge to draw another ally card and bring in some new allies to follow me. That actually is a bit more of like the old school Dungeons and Dragons, where you sort of hired a bunch of sword hands and torch bearers and scribes and other people to follow you into the dungeon and help you carry treasure and fight monsters and all that kind of stuff. So it usually wasn't just a group of seasoned adventurers. It was sometimes a whole jumble of people sort of huddled together trying to survive their way through this dungeon. So that's kind of the spirit and how I'm going to play this one today. So it is a bit of a house rule, but I think it's the best way to let you see some of the allies in action. And I'm just thinking that when I start to hit some of these encounter cards with all the poison and all that, my allies are going to be dropping like flies. So instead of just constantly drawing new allies to come out, I thought I would have to make myself spend a healing surge to bring them out. So in order to show some variety in the gameplay, I'm going to be using all of these healing surges, and I'll have a choice whether I want to use it as the standard rules and use a healing surge to heal myself, or if I want to spend one to draw a new ally to come along with us. So let's get started and see how it works. Adventure for the Mysterious Chamber. An opening in the rock leads to one of many chambers hidden beneath Firestorm Peak. The goal: find the evil hidden in the mysterious chamber and destroy it. Number of heroes is 2 to 5. We're going to be going in with 2 and some allies. Sort of randomly drew my heroes. We've got the Paladin and the Wizard, and I'm going to let each of them draw an ally card and put some people with them. So who do we have following the Paladin? We have the Dragon Knight. We see his statistics here, and I'm going to let you see him in action very soon. But we're going to put him with the Paladin. And with the Wizard, we have a Half-Orc Thug. And we're going to put him there. Well, here are their figures. This is actually the same model, I think, that the Half-Orc Rogue uses in Wrath of Ashardalon, but he's nicely painted, so we'll put him right here, maybe protecting and helping out his Wizard. And then we've got the Dragon Knight, and we'll put him right there. Man, I can't believe how rusty I feel playing this. Let's see, got to refresh my memory here. Hero phase. It is time to start moving and attacking. And I think what we need to do here at the beginning is start to move around and explore. So let's have our Paladin move up to the front edge and explore. So we're going to draw a tile, and it is a black tile. And let me see, I think that was bad, wasn't it? We just turned over the tile. It says exploration phase. If your hero occupies a square adjacent to an unexplored edge, go to step 2. Otherwise, go to the villain phase. Okay, step 2, we drew the tile, placed it, and draw a monster card and place that monster on the new tile. And I remember the monsters go on the scorch mark. So let's draw our first monster. An Orc Drudge. This may be from the new pack. Yes, we can see the symbol down there. Let's get him out there. Alright, so we've drawn a monster and placed it on the new tile. Now, it says here, villain phase. If you didn't place a tile during your exploration phase, or if you placed a tile with a black triangle, draw an encounter card. Well, let's draw an encounter card. Dragon Fear. The very presence of the red dragon in the dungeon fills you with an unrelenting sense of fear. You are cursed. Place this card on your hero card as a reminder. Paralyzing fear overcomes you. Whenever you move to a new tile, take 1 damage. Roll a die at the end of your hero phase, 10 or more to discard. That's terrible. Alright. Well, now, let's continue on. We're moving into, if a villain is in play, activate it. What about these allies, though? Ally rules. There is a familiar voice encounter card that I've placed into the encounter deck. This is normally how you get allies, but it seems to me like there's a pretty slim chance, or maybe you won't even get any allies as you're going through. So I decided to start out with a few. But here we go. Allies you control activate first during step 3 of your villain phase. Step 3 is activate monsters. Okay, so they go just before the monsters do. Activate first. Allies count as hero for the purposes of encounter cards, monster tactics, and hero powers. Alright, so the nice thing is, we don't have the initiative, so to speak. Our paladin is basically going to be approached and attacked. But thanks to us having the Dragon Knight with us, he gets to activate just before this monster does. So let's see what he does. If the Dragon Knight is within 1 tile of a monster, and he definitely is, he moves adjacent to the closest monster and attacks that monster with a sword. So we take our Dragon Knight, move him up beside the, Orc Drudge, and we're going to let him attack. His sword attack is +6, and it will do 1 damage. Alright, well, let's see how this works here. The armor class is not too high, it's only 12, and this guy has 1 hit point. So there's a chance that our ally may be able to take him out in 1 hit. So we need to roll a 6 or higher. We rolled a 7. So that's going to total 13, and that's enough to hit him. And with the 1 damage, the Orc Drudge is slain. So he's out. Well, that's going to give us 1 experience point. Nicely done, ally. Well, for the Dragon Knight killing the Orc there, we get to draw a treasure card. And we've got a Scroll of Monster Control. Temporarily takes control of your foe. You use this during the villain phase, choosing a monster. I think I'm going to give this to the wizard. I already have a power selected for him that's much like this, called Hypnotism. But let's kind of load him up with that. Let's let him take this scroll as well. Well, we're in the hero phase, so let's take an action and use the wizard's utility power, Wizard Eye. You see through a magical hovering eye, allowing you to explore from a distance. Use this power during your hero phase. You get to place the Wizard Eye token on a tile within 1 tile of you. Instead of moving, you can move the Wizard Eye marker 1 tile. During your exploration phase, you can explore as if your hero was on any unexplored edge of the Wizard's Eye tile. So during your exploration, you can explore as if your hero was on any unexplored edge of the Wizard tile. Sorry, just reading and reminding myself of how this works. Let's put this over here in the Paladin's area. And we need to flip this card over. It is now used. And instead of moving, using our move action, let's have the Wizard Eye explore this way. So we're going to draw a tile. Well, we've gotten another black triangle. Not the best news. So there we go. And then we need to draw a monster, I believe. I want to make sure that I'm remembering these steps correctly. Alright. Orc Smasher. This is just from the regular base set. So let's get this guy out. We've gotten the Orc Smasher placed. And then it says that if we placed a tile with a black triangle, we need to draw an encounter card. So let's do that. Deadly Poison. Each hero that is currently poisoned takes 1 damage. Well, fortunately right now no one is poisoned, so draw another encounter card. Let's draw another one. A gap in the armor. The last fight damaged your armor and you must spend a few moments to repair it. You are cursed. Place this card on your hero card as a reminder. You have a -4 penalty while this card is active. So we need to put this on our wizard. Doesn't have the best armor anyway, but maybe he didn't lace something up correctly. So he's got an armor class problem. Alright, well, we're continuing on through the villain phase, and we're about to activate this Orc Smasher. However, it's still technically the wizard's turn, and it's time for his ally to possibly act. And it says if the Half-Orc Thug is within 2 tiles of a monster. And there he is. We got 1 tile, 2 tiles. So, yes, he's within 2 tiles of a monster. He attacks each monster on the closest monster's tile with an explosive bolt. Otherwise, the Half-Orc Thug moves 1 tile towards the hero who controls him. Well, he's going to have a +5 here. So he's going to make this attack against the Orc Smasher, whose armor class is 15. We're going to need a 10 or higher. So let's give this a roll. And we just missed. We got a 9. So he turns to fire. And the bolt misses, perhaps exploding on the far wall. But the Orc Smasher is now ready to attack. And it says if the Orc Smasher is within 1 tile, and he is, it moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks with a heavy mace. So he moves in and makes his attack against the Paladin. The Paladin, as the item I drew for the Paladin, this is a shield. It is a blessed shield, and it allows him to gain +2 to his armor class. So that's going to give him a pretty good armor class of 19. So what does this guy need to roll here? He's going to have +9 to his attack. Wow, that's pretty good. So I guess a 10 or higher will do it for this orc. I didn't expect him to have such a great attack bonus. 20. Okay. I think he hit us. And how much damage did he do? Well, fortunately, it's only 1 damage. Alright, we're going to put a damage marker there. Our hero has taken his first hit.